Hey guys, welcome to the What. So today we will see the simulation on open loop non-isolated buck boost converter. Right. So in the earlier videos we saw MATLAB simulations on buck converter as well as boost converter separately. This is a circuit diagram, or this is a device which can step up as well as step down a DC voltage simultaneously without changing any connections or without changing any devices. Right. So let's get started. So what is a buck boost converter? So as I said, that it will step up or step down our input voltage according to the pulses which we are giving to this MOSFET or IGBT or any semiconductor switch, right? So we are using MOSFET and IGBT here in, instead of SCR, because for SCR we need a separate isolating closing circuit to turn off that SCR, right? So MOSFET and IGBT do not require any external circuit to turn off, right? So it is DC to DC buck boost converter. So it will step down as well as it can step up according to the gate pulses, right? So that means that if we are triggering the gate pulses from 0 to 50% duty cycle, then it will step down the voltage. And if we are triggering from 50% to 100%, then it will, we can't go up to 100%. I'll explain you later why we can't go up to 100%, but near to 98 or 99%. So it will step up the voltage, right? So the basic things will remain same, just similar as boost converter or buck converter. But one thing that is very important that we need to understand is the output will be opposite, right? So as you can see, this is the plus and minus of Vs. So, but the output view we are seeing negative on the top side and positive on the bottom side, right? That is because the current will flow in the opposite direction. We can see there is a diode here, so we can say that if current will flow in this direction, then it will reverse bias the direction and it will be open circuited. So current will not flow in this direction, right? So let's see the working. So as we already know that MOSFET has two operations, one is on. So let's start with the on operation. So as the operation is on, current will leave this battery, the MOSFET will be short circuited, current will come here at this junction. So it can't go straight to the diode as the diode is reverse biased, so it is open circuited. So all the current will go through this inductor, charging the inductor with polarity positive and negative. It will come here and then it will go back to the battery, right? So this will charge the inductor for a certain amount of time, right? So this is the charging operation, or we can say operation when the MOSFET is on, right? Now let's see the second operation when the MOSFET is off. So when the MOSFET is open circuited, this battery will be isolated. Now initially inductor was having positive polarity on the upper side and negative on the lower side while charging, but as we saw earlier in the earlier videos, we can see that whenever this inductor will discharge itself, it will change to opposite polarity, right? So now it is discharging because no battery source is connected to the inverter. So now the polarity will be plus here and minus here. So that means current will flow towards the downward direction. It will come to this junction. It can't go to the left hand side towards the battery source as the MOSFET switch is open circuited. So all the current will go towards the load side. Some charging current will go from this, some microamperes, and the rest of the current will go through the load. It will pass from the load. It will come back through this diode and it will be reconnected to the inductor, right? So that's why we can say that we are getting opposite polarity due to the negative direction of the current, right? So whenever if we want to connect something or if we want to measure the output on the load side, we are connecting negative circuit, right? So let's do the simulation. So the things required here are pretty much same as we use in boost and buck converter. Only the circuit diagram will change. So let's go on to the MATLAB circuit. So now let's find out this different components. So DC voltage source, right? Next is RLC branch, series RLC branch. Then we have voltage measurements. We have current measurements. We have a diode. Okay, we are not using this diode because this is blue in color. This is of different use. We have to use a power diode. So diode and this one, power electronics, electrical specialized power systems, fundamental block, power electronics. This diode we will use. We will use a MOSFET. Then we will use a triangular generator. For triggering, we are not using a pulse generator. We are manually creating our pulses to trigger the MOSFET. We are using a gain, then a constant, then we will use a relational operator as a comparator. Relational operator. We will use scope to see our graph. We will use a display to see the value. We will use power GUI, or we have to use power GUI if you are doing a simulation on MATLAB. Otherwise, your simulation will not work. We will use ground, but which one? We will use this one, electrical specialized power systems, fundamental block elements. We will use this ground and one add block, right? Okay, so let's make our circuit. So let's take our DC voltage source. Then we will have our MOSFET switch here. Then we will have our inductor here. We will convert this into an inductor. Just wait for a second. Let's place everything. We will, this is a diode. Diode is in reverse direction. So it will be here, right? Current measurement block will be also in reverse direction. So it will be here. Now we need to take one capacitor. Then we will take a load. We will convert these branches into capacitor as well as resistance. Just wait for a few seconds, right? So let's connect the circuit. So this DC voltage will go here. Just open this MOSFET and untick this thing, measurement port, and do the same thing with the diode as well. We don't need any measurement for these things. Diode will be connected here. This will be connected to the current measurement. This will be connected to our load. And now this will be connected to this. Now one connection, parallel connections of inductor as well as capacitor as well as resistance, which is already connected. Our voltage source is 100 volts. Let's take that only. We have to convert this into an inductor with measurements of 870 microhenry. This is the design that I am using to design boost converter, buck converter, as well as buck boost. Here we are using a capacitor with 2034 microfarad, and here is the resistance of 10 ohms. That is enough. Let's take this voltage measurement. We'll connect it here. Let's take the scope here. So now, as we know, our polarity will be opposite. So we will connect the voltage measurement according to it, right? I'm putting two input ports, but I'm putting layout as only one screen, so we can compare both of the waveforms on one graph only, right? Let's copy paste this voltage measurement. Now let's flip it. So for flipping, just right click on this, rotate and flip. Go and flip the block up, down, right? So now negative will be in the upside and positive will be on the downside. We need this only, right? It will go in the second one, and on the first one we will get this, right? Now let's take one more scope for the measurement purpose of our current, right? Let's connect this display over here. Let's connect this ground here. Now our basic circuit, our main circuit is ready, right? So now let's design our triggering circuit. So in the past two videos, I have explained that how we are making our triggering circuit, but right now also we will see, right? It is not a tedious task. So frequency, we are always keeping frequency in kilohertz. So we are putting 10 kilohertz for us, right? We are simulating for 0.06 seconds. Let's start the simulation to check the triangular wave, right? So let's see the output of this triangular wave. So now we can see it will start from 0, it will go to 1, and it will come to -1, right? So the range is -1 to 1. But I always say that it is more simple to work with the range of 0 to 1. So we are putting different things, we are adding different things. Where is that add block that we added? Forgot, I guess. We have to use this add block. So we will add 0.5 and we will multiply 0.5. So if we multiply and add 0.5 to our existing wave, we will see how the wave changes. Right, so now we can see that it will start from 0 and it will go to, means it will start from 0.5, it will go to 1, and then it will come back to 0. So now the range of this thing is 0 to 1. That is perfect for us, right? So now we will compare both of these with a constant to get our output as a gate pulse, right? Let's use a multiplexer. Multiplexer is a device which will have multiple inputs and a single output. So we are connecting this multiplexer here and here. Let's convert this into two inputs with two different waveforms. So first will be the comparison and the second one will be the output of this thing. So let's check what we are getting. So as we zoom in, then we can see that this yellow one on the upper side is a triangular wave. The blue one on the upper side is the constant that we are comparing to, and the below one is the output of the comparison. So we can see that Whenever the triangular wave is greater than the constant, we are getting no output. And whenever the triangular wave is smaller than the constant, we are getting a positive output. So according to this, we can compare, or we can increase or decrease the output of the gate pulse, right? So currently I have taken 0.5 as a constant. So we can say that we have designed it this way, that 0.5, that means it is 50% duty cycle, right? So we can increase it to 0.5 or 0.75 for a 75% duty cycle. So we can clearly see the output, right? So we can see that our output, the positive cycle has been increased and the negative cycle has been decreased. So if we change this to 0.25 as well, we can see that the positive will decrease and the zero will be increase, right? So here we can see only 25% is giving us positive, the rest everything is giving us zero. So these are the perfect outputs that we want. So let's select everything, put this on the back side, connect this gate pulse to the output of this thing, right? So now let's keep 0.5 duty cycle. So for 0.5 duty cycle, we will get almost equal amount of output voltage because it is 50% duty cycle. This is a buck boost converter, right? So as we know, our input voltage is 100. So our output we are getting is 96.46, around 97, right? So here we can see why the simulation of both of the things. The yellow one is our constant input voltage, and this blue one is our chopped output voltage, right? So we can see like it is chopping, right? It is coming some amount, then it is decreasing, it is increasing for some amount, and then it is re-decreasing. So if we run this cycle for few more cycles, let's say for 0.1 seconds, then we can get more clearer output, right? So as we can see here, the yellow one is the input and the blue one is our output. So it is nearer to 100. If we see this, it is nearer to 100. If we run this for 1 second, for example, it is a long period for a converter. So then we can see that this, after some time, we are getting constant, right? Near about 97, 97.27, right? And let's see the current, right? So if we zoom in the currents, we will see that it is a pulsating DC, right? See, it is not going to negative, it is going to some value and it is coming back to zero. So we can say that it is a pulsating DC current, right? So now let's change this output. Right now for 50% duty cycle, we are getting around near to the same as the input. So what I told you earlier when we were seeing this, that if we control this from 0 to 50% duty cycle, then we will get a buck output. That means a stepped down output. So let's simulate that. Let's go for 25% duty cycle, that is 0.25. Let's run this. So as we can see, we are getting 32 volts, right? Let's see the simulation graph. So here we can see 100 is the input, and here near about 32 volts that we are getting after chopping. So this is for 25% duty cycle. We are converting this whole thing into buck mode. So we are stepping down the voltage, right? Now let's see for 75% duty cycle, which will step up the voltage, and this converter will work as a boost converter. So now we can see for 100 volts input, we are getting 266 volts of output. If we see our scope, then we can see that the yellow one is the input and the blue one is the output, which is clearly too much, right? It is around 2.5 times, 2.6 times, right? So in this manner, we can simulate a buck and boost converter using a single circuit just by controlling the triggering pulses, right? So just by controlling the duty cycle. Let's see the current for this. Still, current will be same, its magnitude will change, but the nature of pulses will be same only, right? So this is the MATLAB simulation on open loop non-isolated buck boost converter, right? So that's it from my side. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. And if you want any other converters to be simulated on MATLAB, please do let me know. I'll try my best to give it to you, right? Thank you.